Welcome, everyone, to MLB Tonight. 30 clubs, 30 camps, coming to you from Surprise, Arizona, the spring home of the 2023 World Champion Texas Rangers. Now, since they won it all in 2023, they've missed the playoffs. Last year, they were 81-81, but there is a new era upon us for 2026. Hello, everyone. It's Greg Amsinger with Yonder Alonso, and the Skip Schumaker era has officially started. Now, he was with the organization working in the front office last year, but this is the guy that was a 2023 NL Manager of the Year with the Marlins. What are you expecting? Any kind of major difference?
Yeah, I think the communication aspect of it all is huge when you talk about Skip Schumaker. Look, this guy has been there. He has been with the organization for a year. I think that's huge too. Getting to know all the guys, getting to know the coaching staff. Now all of a sudden you come into camp, this is not new. He knows what to expect. The players understand what to expect from him as well. And look, so far, you would think, okay, what's the vibe here? The vibes are great. They feel very balanced, top to bottom when it comes to starting pitching, when it comes to the bullpen, when it comes to this whole roster. They feel good about where they're at.
I'm just worried that Corey Seager needs to feel good. If he plays, he's one of the best players in baseball. Last year, he played 102 games. But when he was on the field, he was dynamic. His OPS plus was over 150. What realistic expectations do you have for the 31-year-old
He's got to play
shortstop?
between 140 and 145 games. Look, this guy only had 380 at-bats, and yet he had a 6.2 WAR.
That's crazy,
this
folks.
Guy
That's
plays,
crazy.
And when he's on the field, this guy is the best when it comes to shortstop and when it comes to that left-handed bat. So, yes, I want him to play. Look, and it's also beautiful when you feel like a guy, your best player, is playing every day. You feel like you can win every day when he's on the field. So, yeah. 140, 145 games.
Well, they did make massive moves in the offseason. President of Baseball Operations, Chris Young, made two huge trades. Let's start with Brandon Nimmo. You see Mackenzie Gore also was acquired by the Texas Rangers. But Brandon Nimmo for Marcus Semien and Seager up the middle won that World Championship in 2023. What does Nimmo bring to this lineup?
Oh, so much value. First and foremost, he plays 155 games a year.
That's true.
That's number one. He's going to play center field. He's going to play some right field. But more importantly, he's going to hit 25 home runs, over 90-plus RBIs last year. I'm expecting the same thing, and there's no better feeling than going to a place where you're liked. Where you feel like they're expecting a lot out of you. You're not just a dude. You are the dude. You are the part of that core. So I'm expecting Nimmo to have a huge year.
But I think you would agree the strength of the team is the starting rotation.
No question about it.
No doubt. With DeGrom and Eovaldi and Jack Leiter and acquiring Mackenzie Gore, vitally important, an all-star last year with the Washington Nationals. I had a chance to catch up with Mackenzie, and I asked him after months of rumors about which team he was going to go to, possibly in a trade, what was his reaction when he found out he was coming to Texas to play for the Rangers?
Yeah, fired up. Kind of one of the situations, probably couldn't have handpicked a better place. So yeah, like you said, didn't know where it was going to be, but once I got the news, me and the family were excited.
So you've been a baseball rat your whole life. When you see Jacob DeGrom and Nathan Eovaldi, guys that have done it at the highest level for such a long time, what was that like putting on the same uniform here at spring training and talking to those guys?
Yeah, just being around them has been great, and you see them from a distance, especially being in the NL. Like you see them a little bit, but now that I'm in the same clubhouse, you kind of really get to understand it, and they're good. And I understand why they've been good for so long now, and I'm looking forward to just trying to keep up with them. So.
When the head boss, the president of baseball ops, is a former pitcher that won a World Series, what is that like? Have you had conversations with Chris Young?
Yeah, we've had conversations. I think he just really understands what it takes to be successful, and they're trying to get every player, put them in positions to be successful. I think that's what I was most fired up about, and we'll see what happens.
What have you learned from your journey, starting in San Diego in the big leagues, then to the Washington Nationals? What have you learned?
That you really appreciate the guys that have been doing it really well for a long time. It's not easy, but it's great game, and I've learned a lot. It's crazy. I'm in year 5 now, and just continue to keep improving. I think I'll be pretty happy. How
important is a winning environment to a pitcher like you?
Yeah, winning is important in anything you're doing. It was time. I felt like it was time in my career to go win somewhere, and excited to be here. And the opportunity to win is going to be awesome.
You've heard me gush about you for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Mackenzie Gore, the curveball, the big leg kick. Now he's what, 26, 27?
Just turned 27. Yeah.
They grew up so fast. Yonder, back over to you.
Thanks, Greg. Take a look at this lineup for the Texas Rangers. You got Josh Young. Obviously, you got Seager. You got Nimmo. But look, I wouldn't say pressure. I would say opportunity. I think the most valuable guy is Wyatt Langford. We're here with him right now. To be able to protect a guy like Seager, And I always want to talk hitting. I always want to talk offensive approach. But for you, what is it like to be in the middle of that lineup?
Yeah, it's great. You know, like you said, we got so many good guys, really 1 through 9. There's guys that can do damage. So, you know, any spot in the lineup doesn't really matter too much. We got guys that can do it all over.
Okay, take me through your 3 keys, right? What is it that you like to do in the box? Before you're getting into the box, what's your thought process?
Yeah, I mean, I think number 1 is always like, gotta have confidence. You know, you gotta, when you're coming up there, no matter how good or bad your swing was maybe before the game, you gotta go up there knowing you're gonna beat that guy, you're gonna get a hit. So that's kind of before you get in the box, before the game, you know, just get that competition, competing. Number 2, I mean, for me, I'm always trying to go like, you know, kind of middle of the field, right center, and then kind of adjust anything in and pull it. So that's kind of what helps me. I mean, a lot of guys are different. You know, some guys love to try and pull the ball, some guys love to try and go oppo more. I'm kind of more middle of the field and try to be. And then number 3 is just, you know, just always competing, especially, you know, deeper in the count and knowing the situation. You know, there's a time to try and hit a shot to the left, and there's a time to move the guy over from second. So just kind of understanding the situation you're in.
Where do you stand in the box? I'm always aware of where guys stand in the box. You know, guys like you're saying, like to pull the baseball, they get really on top of the dish. Like Jose Ramirez, for example, on the left side, he's on top of the dish. You look at a guy like Manny Machado, he's a little bit off the plate. Where is it that you like to stand in the box?
I'm pretty much right in the middle, I would say. I mean, so if this is our box right here, I'm in the back and then right in the middle. And you know, there's definitely times where I'll move up. If it's a guy that's got a lot of stuff moving down or something, or slow, like a slower pitcher, I'll move up. If I think if the changeup's coming, I'll move up sometimes. 2 strikes, I like to get on the dish a little more, and then just kind of look more in when I move up on the dish and look more in.
You choke up a little bit?
Sometimes it depends. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. You know, a lot of it depends. In college, I choked up a lot, like with 2 strikes, and then as I got into pro ball, I've done it a little less. But it's all situation based. I like to think through it, kind of.
There's this new wave, right? Get the ball out in front, launch angle, dip and dive. You know, I've always been kind of that old school mentality player where it was like, no, a line drive still works in this game. What is that approach like for you offensively?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've kind of went too far into the launch angle type stuff, like in the past, like the last couple of years. And I feel like recently I've been trying to get back to that more line drive. You know, when I was in college, you kind of get away with the metal bats, you know, hitting it high, it'll go. Wood bats are a little different, so you get back. I mean, if you look at the best hitters, they're all hitting line drives for the most part. This is not really fly balls. So, you know, nice hard line drive, and then you kind of run into homers.
Hey, Greg, my guy over here is going to have a huge year. Back to you.
Yonder, thanks. Like we do every installment of 30 Clubs, 30 Camps, we want to get interactive with you. Our social media question, which Rangers bold prediction most likely to come true this year? DeGrom winning another Cy Young. Seager wins his first MVP. Wyatt Langford, Gold Glove, Silver Slugger. Rangers win a pennant. The results coming up later in the show. MLB Tonight, 30 Clubs, 30 Camps, and rolls on from Surprise, Arizona. We're talking about a Texas Rangers team that has a massive strength of their roster. It's their starting rotation. You don't believe me? Look who I'm standing next to right now. Jacob deGrom, Nathan Eovaldi, the 2 veteran leaders of this staff. Jake, I'll start with you. Am I right about this, that you believe this is the strength, not just of this team, but could be the best rotation in the American League?
Yeah, definitely. We believe it, you know, and it starts there. You know, Evo, he does a great job of helping these young guys. He's the one who is in the game, knowing every pitch that they're throwing. You know, I kind of lose track. He's really good at keeping track of everything. So he keeps us all together, but does a great job with it. And, you know, the strides the guys took last year, the young guys, coming in this year, we're really excited about it.
And Nathan, when you put your season under a microscope, when you were on the mound, was that as good as you've ever pitched?
Yeah, you know, last year I felt like I was able to stay really consistent. I felt like we had a really good scouting report with everything going in, and just mechanically it was only like a few, you know, minor adjustments that we had to make. But again, I think with the pitching staff too, we all hold each other accountable. You know, we go out there, we all have similar things. So, you know, when we're attacking a lineup, we can kind of make adjustments, you know, game to game, with our strengths and how we want to attack those guys.
It's not really shocking that this is like a pitching organization when Chris Young is the president of baseball operations. Do you feel that trickle-down effect, that this is a former pitcher that's won a world championship, that I don't know if he communicates with you guys, but pitching seems to be the main focus here at this organization?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he's able to go out there and get the guys that we need to get. You know, last year, I think coming into the season, the bullpen was a big question, and they were huge for us last year.
Yeah.
You know, we obviously made some additions and subtractions to the team, but I think we're going to be in a really good spot. Picking up Mackenzie Gore this offseason was huge for us, and you know, being able to have that dominant left-handed arm in the bullpen or in the rotation is going to help for us.
Jacob, you've accomplished a lot in your career. What's left for you? What's on the short list for Jacob deGrom?
Just go out there and make as many starts as I can. Get out, be out there, just try to help the team win. Obviously, personal goals. Every time I'm out there, I want to try to win a Cy Young. So if I do that, puts us in a good spot. So I think every pitcher says that. You know, Evo's goal is to go out there and win a Cy Young. I think our whole rotations is. So if we're doing our best, it only helps the team.
Do you think you're as good as you've ever been right now?
Feel really good right now. So, you know, getting back out there last year, you missed time, you really missed this game, so it was huge for me to get out there and make 30 starts last year. So just build off that and take the ball as many times as I can.
All right, I'm going to use you guys as analysts, okay? So be ready for this. I think you guys have 6 starters, okay? So I want you to break down 2 of those remaining 4. All right, we're talking a lot about you guys, but I'll start with you. Give me Latz and Leiter. Give me 15 seconds on each guy, why you like him.
Okay, Jack. The way he improved last year, the scouting report early on, Jack was, you know, kind of all over the place, and then towards the end of the year, and you know, I have to give Evo a ton of credit for this. Talking to him about his stuff and how it plays, looking at the hitters and how to attack the hitters. You saw that later in the season, going right after guys, and he's got elite stuff. So if he just keeps that same mentality, here it is, let's see what you can do with it, he's going to be unbelievable.
That's amazing analysis. What about Latz?
Latz, you know, the role Latz played last year of bullpen starting, that's not easy. You know, I've never done that in my career, so I have to give him a ton of credit. And, you know, he's in this camp competing for a starting job, and what he did last year, going right after guys, unbelievable changeup, off speed, knows how to mix it up, and it's just another lefty that can attack guys.
He set the bar high here, Nathan Eovaldi. All right, start Kumar Rocker. Give me some good stuff on Kumar Rocker.
I think Rocker with his sinker and slider, that combination between those two, nobody else has that in the game. And I think that when he's on and he's locating at the bottom part of the zone, he's going to have a lot of success. I think the big thing for him moving forward is just having another pitch where he's going to be able to slow down the mix up the change of tempo and everything with the hitters. He mixes that in there and he's going to have a lot of success. And he's a guy who doesn't like to fail. And I think last year was frustrating for him having to come in there and deal with that, those struggles. But I think this year he's going to be coming in looking really good for us.
One of my favorite left-handed breaking balls in the sport belongs to Mackenzie Gore. What do you think of him?
Yeah, I mean, that curveball is next level. The fastball, I think it plays well at the top and at the bottom. I mean, we saw the first half that he had last year, striking out everybody. And, you know, as long as we keep him healthy, like Jake's touched on earlier, you know, we keep those guys healthy, then we're going to do some great things in the rotation, and we're going to have a lot of success out there.
Don't tell Yonder, but I'm getting you guys MLB Network polos. I think you're going to do the rest of the show with me. That was amazing. Jacob deGrom, Nathan Eovaldi, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it.
Manager interviews are presented by Sage, the official finance software partner of Major League Baseball.
30 clubs, 30 camps rolls on from Surprise, Arizona, all about the team that won the World Series back in 2023, the Texas Rangers. What was the missing link from that 2023 team the last 2 years? A healthy outfielder named Evan Carter. A broken wrist sidelined him last year, but he's back, he's 100%, and he's standing by with Yonder.
Here with the main guy himself, Evan Carter. First and foremost, how's your health? How do you feel? I know you had the back injury a few years ago. You had the crazy wrist injury as well. What's the health like?
Yeah, great offseason, feeling really good right now. I know the clubhouse is really excited right now. Everybody's feeling good right now. We're excited for hopefully a healthy season for everybody this year.
Hey man, you know, I just remember you in the World Series as the top prospects for the Rangers. There's no more prospect anymore. I mean, these guys are expecting you to be one of the core guys on the offense. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, it feels like forever ago at this point now. It's really exciting. It's a cool thing, you know, and I just want to do my absolute best that I can do to help this team win. I know we've got a lot of guys this year that are kind of wanting to have some comeback seasons, myself included, you know, have some more success this year, so we're really excited to look forward to that.
If you can share it, what's your goal, personal goals for yourself?
Personal goals this year for me, I mean, I know it kind of goes into a team goal, but I want to win. I want to do everything that I can do to help win. I want to be available for 162, whether I'm out there for 162 or not. I definitely want to be available. and I think it's going to be just a year full of health and success for everybody.
Listen, if this guy's out there for 162, the Rangers' chances of winning and scoring a ton of runs goes through the roof. So, Greg, I'm telling you, man, this guy's going to be a good one. Back to you.
Yonder, good stuff. Head back over here. We're about to talk to the new skipper of the Texas Rangers. But before we do that, take a look at their top prospects heading into the year. Caden Scarborough, a right-hander they're very excited about. But the top guy, a slick fielding infielder, Sebastian Walcott. I'm sure Skip has something to say on some of these guys. It's time now for your manager interview presented by Sage. 30 clubs and 30 camps. Good to see you, Skip. How do you like this role? Because you were with the organization last year, but now the actual field manager. Is it coming just smoothly or what?
Well, there's always some learning curves in new organizations. Luckily, I got to oversee the organization last year from, the suite, so to speak, and go see the minor league affiliates, kind of learn the organization from Bruce Bochy, obviously Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer, so very grateful for that. So I had some built-in relationships already entering this season, but, very grateful to learn another one.
And because you were already here, you saw Sebastian Walcott. How great of a prospect is this kid? I'm hearing a lot of buzz about him.
Big, physical, shortstop, right-handed bat that can run. Very instinctual baseball player as well. At 19 years old, had an amazing year in AA. Run, hit, tool is as good as anybody's around, and is, again, an elite player at defense as well. So unfortunately got hurt early on in camp, but luckily, we'll see most likely, but August and September could be back. And so you never know where he's going to end up this year. Could be up here. That's how good he could be.
Skip, you guys did a lot of stuff last season, obviously, to try to get into the postseason. This offseason, you guys have made a lot of moves as well, subtractions, additions. When I look at a team like this, it feels like when you have a chip on your shoulder in the offseason, it can be very dangerous, right? You feel really good about yourself coming into camp. You want to prove a lot of people wrong. What is that message like, and what's the vibe like in that clubhouse?
Sometimes as a manager, you try to find ways to motivate guys in the offseason. I didn't have to do much this year. You had, you think about Jock and you think about Jake Berger and Josh Young and some of these guys that are looking to have these bounce back years coming into this season, who are, all-stars the year before, some really good baseball players throughout their career, and they're coming in extremely motivated, trying to prove that last year was an outlier type of year. Then you mix in, Mackenzie Gore this offseason. Obviously, Nimmo in right field is going to be huge for us. And then obviously I think, Wyatt Langford is coming, and as we all know. So very excited to see what this year brings.
If I did a list of the highest upside starting pitchers in all of baseball for 2026, I think Mackenzie Gore and Jack Leiter would be towards the top of that list. Would you agree with me?
I agree, and luckily we have a guy named Jacob deGrom and another guy named Uvalde that are sitting right next to those guys and mentoring them every single day, whether it's in the bullpen, side sessions, weight room. I couldn't ask for a better group to mentor these two guys. And Mackenzie Gore and Leiter are I know that Leiter was really the first full year last year. Mackenzie, I know he's been around a little bit, but I don't think they've ever been around a group of guys like deGrom and Evo every single day and how they go about their business. So the WBC is amazing. I love it because you have the best players around and mentoring some of these young guys coming up. I feel like we have a little bit of a group like that on our pitching staff that can mentor these young guys up right now.
I feel like he's going to be a manager for 30 more years. Like this is like, right?
He's going to look the same too in 30 years.
You must have missed it, dude. Did you miss? You missed the manager role, right? You missed it.
I really did. Yeah. I also missed a lot of my kids' lives, as you know, and so I got to see them grow up in their high school years, and my cup was full, man, and very grateful to jump back in.
God, I love this guy. Skip Schumaker. Have a great year, okay?
All right, thank you. Appreciate you. Thanks, Skip.
Well, before we say goodbye, let's wrap up the show with the results of our social media question. Which predictions most likely to come true for the Rangers this year? And man, I think that demo with Wyatt Langford really persuaded some people. Wyatt Langford, 52% of you believe he's going to win a Gold Glove and a Silver Slugger. Now, I wish those positive thoughts would change my bold prediction for the 2026 Rangers. I just think the division's so improved. There are three teams that got better above them. And as much as I love the rotation, I just don't think the lineup's going to score enough runs. So I got 76 wins, 5-win differential from last year. And I think they're going to move Jacob deGrom, who will be the #1 player, if not Scooble, It'll be DeGrom at the trade deadline. So massive headlines coming for the Rangers.
Well, I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to trade DeGrom during the trade deadline. However, I do have the Rangers being just hovering around 500. That's where I got them. There's a lot of question marks. Health is being one of them. And look, when you look at this division in the West, did Mariners get better? Yes. Did the A's get better? Yes. And the Houston Astros got better as well.
And there are a lot of question marks in their bullpen.
Yeah, and the question marks in the bullpen is huge.
Yeah.
I think Chris Young obviously will kind of figure out that during the trade deadline. But I still have this team being competitive, but the health is a big major concern. So overall, around 500.
This is my least favorite bold prediction moment of our spring training journey. I wanted to say nice things.
We had a ball.
They were so nice to us. It was great. But anyway, that does it. We're expecting probably a 4th place finish in the division for Yonder Alonso. My name's Greg Amsinger. That does it for MLB Tonight. 30 clubs, 30 camps. We'll see you next time.